In the very center of a big city stood a magnificent mansion, almost like a palace. Its owner was a famous businessman and millionaire, Mikhail Andreevich. He was a strict, proud, and cold man who believed that money was everything. To him, love, friendship, and human emotions were weaknesses. But his son Artyom was completely different. He had a kind heart, a sensitive soul, and he dreamed of a life filled not only with wealth and business, but also with love, kindness, and art. Characters. Mikhail Andreevich, the millionaire father, strict and proud. Artyom, his son, gentle and sensitive, around 18 years old. Eliza, the cook in the mansion, but with a hidden, surprising past. Other servants working in the house. The start of the story. One evening, Artyom sat alone in the big hall of the mansion, thinking about his upcoming graduation ball. At school, all students had been told that they must dance the waltz with their parents. Artyom knew his father would never dance with him. At that moment, Eliza, the cook, came out of the kitchen. Gathering courage, Artyom asked, "Eliza, could you teach me how to dance?" She was surprised and smiled. "Dance? I only cook food." But Artyom insisted. Finally, Eliza agreed to show him the first dance steps. The secret in her steps. Day by day, Artyom noticed that Eliza's moves were not ordinary. Her hands, her steps, the way she followed the rhythm, everything was graceful and professional. One day he asked, "Eliza, where did you learn to dance like this?" Her eyes filled with sadness. "That's a long story, Artyom. Maybe someday I'll tell you." The millionaire returns. One evening, Mikhail Andreevich came home earlier than usual. What he saw shocked him. His son was dancing with the cook. "What is this madness?" "My son is dancing with a servant," he shouted. "Papa, please!" Artyom cried. "She is just helping me prepare for graduation." But Mikhail was furious. "From tomorrow, this woman will never set foot in this house again." Eliza lowered her head. As she left, she whispered, "Not everything you see is the truth." The revelation. The next morning, at school, Artyom heard breaking news. A newspaper had published a shocking article. Former famous ballerina of the Bolshoi Theatre, Eliza Kurova, now works as a simple cook. Artyom ran to the nearest shop, bought the paper, and saw her photo. It was Eliza, his cook. He rushed home, stormed into his father's office, and threw the newspaper onto the desk. This is who she is. Not just a cook, but a world-famous dancer. Father's realization. For the first time in many years, Mikhail Andreevich felt ashamed. He realized he had judged people only by their status and wealth, never by their soul or talents. That evening, he went to Eliza and said, "Please forgive me. I didn't know who you really were. Will you help my son prepare for his graduation dance?" Eliza smiled gently. "I agree. I always wanted Artyom to follow his heart." The climax. The graduation ball finally arrived. All the students were dancing with their parents. Artyom stood aside, feeling lonely. Then suddenly, the hall fell silent. Eliza entered, wearing a beautiful, elegant dress. She looked like the ballerina she once was. The music began. Artyom took her hand, and they started to dance. The entire hall froze, watching them. Their movements were graceful, perfect, full of emotion. It was not just a dance, it was art. When the music ended, the hall exploded with applause. The ending. Mikhail Andreevich, sitting in the audience, had tears in his eyes for the first time in many years. He walked to his son, hugged him, and whispered, "Artyom, today you taught me the most important lesson. Money is not everything. True wealth is the soul, love, and talent." Eliza watched them with tears of happiness. From that day forward, she was no longer just a cook, she became a part of the family. The moral. This story teaches us: never judge a person by their status or appearance. True wealth lies in the heart and talents. Pride blinds, but love opens the eyes.